Columbia Institute of Technology acknowledges that our campuses are located on the unceded traditional territories of the Coast Salish nations of Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh.
Good morning, British Columbia, and welcome in to your 10 o'clock sports update. I'm Elijah Ford. The Toronto Blue Jays are one win away from their first World Series championship since 1993 after they handedly defeated the Los Angeles Dodgers 6-1 last night. The Toronto Bats came out on fire with Davis Schneider and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hitting back-to-back home runs off of two-time Cy Young winner Blake Snell's first and third pitches of the game, the first consecutive home runs to start a World Series game ever. Blue Jays pitcher Trey Savage was a force of nature last night, setting a World Series rookie record with 12 strikeouts. He only allowed 3 hits over 7 innings against a stacked Dodgers batting lineup. Jays manager John Schneider says Savage blew him away with his on-field performance.
Historic stuff, you know what I mean? When you talk about that stage and his numbers, getting ahead of a lot of hitters, tons of swing and miss, it's one thing to be in the zone, and it's another thing to be in the zone and get some swing and miss. So
the Blue Jays will have a chance to close out the series at home tomorrow night. Kevin Gausman is expected to start for the Jays. The Dodgers are expected to counter with their ace Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who pitched a complete game against the Blue Jays in Game 2. First pitch is set for 5 p.m. The Vancouver Canucks are down south tonight for a matchup in St. Louis against the Blues. The Blues are one of the teams looking up at the Canucks in the standings, sitting only 3 points behind currently. The Canucks will be shorthanded with captain Quinn Hughes and star forward Connor Garland both missing the trip due to injuries. Vancouver will be looking to get their record back to 500 after dropping their last game 2-0 to the middling New York Rangers. With a win tonight, the Canucks will once again be tied with the Chicago Blackhawks for the final wild card playoff spot in the Western Conference. Puck drop is set for 5 p.m. The Canadian Football League announced today that 6 BC Lions players have been named to the West Division All-CFL team for 2025. The 6 players included quarterback Nathan Rourke, receiver Justin McInnes, and defensive end Matthew Betts. Rourke was also named a finalist for the CFL's George Reed Award for Most Outstanding Player. The Lions are set to play in the semifinals of the Grey Cup playoffs on Saturday, where they open up as 5-point favorites against the Calgary Stampeders. The game is set to take place at BC Place for a 2:30 kickoff. My apologies. The Toronto Raptors lost their 4th straight game last night, 139-121 to the Houston Rockets. The Rockets were led by Kevin Durant, who scored 31 points in their convincing win. Toronto's defense was the story of the game once again, with their defensive rating falling to the 2nd worst in the NBA. Raptors forward Scotty Barnes was a bright spot for Toronto, matching Durant with 31 points himself. Barnes says although Toronto's offense has been solid, the defense must improve.
Team's been averaging 130 points on us for the past 4 games. That's just terrible. We actually been doing really good on the offensive end, scoring the ball, getting downhill, kick out threes. We've been doing that pretty good, but it just comes down to how many stops can we get.
Toronto is now 1-4 to begin the season. Their next chance to snap the losing skid is tomorrow against the tough Cleveland Cavaliers. The Baltimore Ravens are set to visit the Miami Dolphins tonight on Thursday Night Football. This game will mark the return of Ravens superstar quarterback Lamar Jackson, who has been sidelined for 4 weeks with a hamstring injury. These teams each come into tonight with 2 wins through 8 weeks, a far cry from their preseason expectations, particularly the Ravens, who came into this season as a top Super Bowl favorite. Kickoff is set for 5:15 tonight. 11 games are on the NHL slate tonight, including 5 Canadian teams. Ottawa entertains Calgary, Winnipeg faces Chicago, Vancouver visits St. Louis, and Edmonton hosts the New York Rangers. Thank you for tuning in to your 10 o'clock sports update. I've been Elijah Ford for BCIT's The Crow.
Stay tuned for more on BCIT's 1680 The Crow.
I knew a bit about Lightroom and Photoshop before coming into the program, but I didn't really know much about Premiere, and that kind of scared me. And so BCIT has really helped to kind of grow my skills in video editing, which is something I didn't really think I could do before and actually really enjoy now. It also taught me how to use the big cameras, so I can use more than just a DSLR now, which is very helpful as well.